Before we begin the video, we must talk about what exactly is motion. Motion is a change in position of an object over time. It can be described using terms such as displacement, distance, velocity, acceleration, time, and speed. It can be found in many places in real life, including in my vacation in Morocco and Russia for the Football World Cup. The first example of motion in my travels would be the displacement or distance that I have taken to go from one city to another by airplane. The difference between displacement and distance is that distance is the length between 2 points which is traveled over time, as displacement is the shortest distance between those said 2 points. Obviously implying that one cannot move while time has stopped, of course. As depicted in this photo, distance is shown to be longer than displacement, as someone would most likely travel the said distance in order to avoid obstacles. Displacement, on the other hand, is the shortest distance between the 2 points on the map, in which would be most likely to take the shortest amount of time as well. Back to the example, when I would have taken an airplane from Abu Dhabi to, say, St. Petersburg, the airplane would have most likely taken a specific distance, but not the exact displacement to St. Petersburg. For the distance would most likely be to avoid specific mountains, maybe, airways, places that the airplane would not be allowed to fly. So it would have to take a different route, which was not the most efficient way, but it would eventually get you to the said point. Another example of physics within my travels would be how the football players played within the FIFA World Cup in Russia 2018. Which I went to watch Morocco play, even though they lost 2 games and tied 1, which my salt and tears will not be able to help, but that doesn't matter. The next example of motion in my travels was when the football is being kicked by any of the football players. It is known to be what is called projectile motion. Projectile motion is a kind of motion which is experienced by a specific object that is usually thrown or hurled along the Earth's surface. It moves in a parabolic motion that peaks at one point and then drops, as shown within the diagram now being depicted. The ball would count as a projectile because one must remember that a projectile is an object that moves under the influence of gravity itself, meaning that it'll have its weight only being one of the forces that acts on it. Before being kicked, the ball does not count as a projectile, but after being kicked, the ball only has its weight acting upon it, counting it as a projectile. The ball, while in flight, will only have its velocity, and then it will also experience a downwards acceleration, or a deceleration. As you can see, physics is all around us. It is nature's laws, and it is how nature works. We just have to acknowledge and look closer at the beauty and the complexity that is physics. I believe that is all the time we have. Thank you.